bought some apples from the Amish. We have half bushel of gala apples and a half bushel already peeled of another type, ginger gold. And what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to process out these ginger golds for applesauce. So we have, like I said, we have them peeled. Now we're going to begin the coring process, and then we'll get them going in our pot. Alright, I'm here today with Kaylin Rose. We got our ginger gold apples. We're getting ready to process for applesauce. So we've already cored them out, or we've already peeled them. And now we're getting ready to cut them, core them, and get them in the pot ready to boil down. And we're keeping our scraps. We're feeding the cores to the pigs. We're feeding the skins to the rabbits and the chickens and the ducks. So we try not to let much go to waste around here. Alright, so here we go. We got our apples in a pot. We got water down in the bottom. We used about 4 cups of water so far. I got about 3 cups of sugar and, quite honestly, a couple dashes of cinnamon. I couldn't say exactly how much. Maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons. Anyways, I'm going to mix this down into the water. I got it on a medium to low heat, and I'm just going to mix it and let it cook on medium heat. I'm going to get it covered up, and we're going to let it sit. Alright, so here we go. We've been cooking these ginger golds down. We added 3 cups of water to our half bushel. We added 4 cups of sugar, and we added about 3 tablespoons of cinnamon overall. And we mixed 2 big pots together. Once it cooked down, we made it into this amount. And now we reduced the temperature down to low, and we're just going to let it simmer. We've been cooking it at about a medium temperature for an hour and a half, and it processes pretty quick. This particular type of apple, we haven't even had to press or mash because it naturally just breaks down very quickly. So we're just going to reduce it to get rid of some of that juice. Let some of that water steam out. We cooked it for the first hour and a half with a lid on. Now we've taken it off, turned it to low, and we're just going to let it continue to cook. Probably another half an hour or so. Alright, we'll see you guys later when it's all finished. Alright guys, we're going to get into getting these jars ready for processing. So what I got here is just an old bread pan. I'm going to toss a cloth into it. And this way, when I get my jar lids ready, the caps and the lids, they're just going to go in here. And that way I have an area that's clean, dry, to pull them from, to put on the jars when we drop it in the bath. Alright, so we're just over here. We're going to check our water, see if we got a boil going yet. Nope, not quite. So we're going to step back over here where we have our applesauce waiting. We have our jars ready, prepped. All of our lids are ready. And we are going to hold off on putting the applesauce in the jars until we are sure that that water has come to a boil. Alright, so I got my water bath on the stove. I'm just bringing water to a boil in this. I have it on high heat, and it's just almost full of water. Let me get the lid off that. So this is actually almost rolling now, so we're going to let that sit for just a little bit longer. Okay, we have our applesauce. It's thickened up now. You can see we've reduced the majority of that excess water has come off. This house is starting to smell really, really good. You got that fresh cinnamon just throughout the home. My kids are amping on this. They're a little concerned that we're about to put this into these jars instead of bringing this pot straight to the table. And there's 9 of them, so you know we could get through this pot of applesauce if we tried. Anyways, let's get over to these jars. So for these jars, we have them all prepped. They're all ready to go. We do have the funnel for canning. This simply sits on the top so that you can put the applesauce into the jar easily enough without making too much of a mess and slopping around. You don't have to have that. It's not necessary. It is helpful, but it is not necessary. The main thing is that you want to keep the top of these jars clean and dry for attaching the lids. You're going to get a good clean seal that way. So we're just waiting right now. We have all our materials ready to go. We're just waiting on that water to boil. Now, it is critical that you wait for your water to come to a complete boil. You do not want to move forward with the process, jump the gun. You have to wait. So if you're like me and you're very impatient, this is the hardest part. All right, we're still waiting on our water to boil. Like I said, if you're impatient like me, but we have visitors while we wait. At least we have a cute little Errol in to see us. And she's not as impatient as the rest of us. And Hunter helping out today. All right, I'm not sure if you can see it, but this water is at a boil. It is at a rolling boil, and we're gonna go ahead and start filling our jars. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and start getting our applesauce into our jars. I just use a soup ladle for this, and I'm just gonna scoop it in. It's hot. The applesauce is hot. The jars are room temperature. When we get up here to the top, we're gonna leave about 1/2 inch space. So I'll show you what that looks like, and then I'll go ahead and do the rest, and we'll catch up on the other side. So that is 1/2 inch there. I'm gonna go ahead and get my lid, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it right on. That's one. Okay, so what you didn't see is that I just overfilled this one, and to get it out, I simply just added a spoon, I scooped down in here, and I pulled out and just added it back to my pot. So these are the kinds of things that happen in real life, and typically you edit them out in a video, but this is what homesteading on my farm looks like. A lot of accidents, mistakes, and then we figure out how to correct and move on. So this one's ready to go. All right, so this is about what we can process. We don't have enough left in the pot to do a 7th jar. So we have 6 jars that are hot and they're ready to go in the water bath. We're gonna use this for a treat for the kids. It's not gonna go very far, but at least it'll be something for them for tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and get these in the water bath. All right, so here we go. We got all of our cans in the water, and I'm gonna go ahead and lower this, and hopefully we have the right amount of water in here. It's all just trial and error at this part, because that's how I do life. So it looks like maybe we need a little bit more water in here, and what you missed was that we had way too much to start, and so I had actually taken some out. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and pour it over the top. I want these to be completely covered. And now you can watch as the air bubbles start leaving these jars. So you can see that air is leaving these jars. So we've done it right, and we're just gonna let this sit now for 25 minutes. I think it is important to note that the way we started this process is I had entirely too much water in this pot, and so I loaded these jars on, and I tried to do a video where I was gonna then lower all of the jars down into the water, and I could see as I was going down that I was gonna overflow this pot. So we actually cut and we took a bowl of water out, and that's what I just added some of that back into it. So I'm sure that there's a proper measurement, but I'm not really one of those people that does things proper or measures. So we're just kind of winging it. Hopefully this applesauce is going to turn out proper. We're going to go ahead and keep it in here for the 25 to 30 minutes, and we'll come back and check them, take them out, and watch them seal. All right, now while we wait for our water bath to finish off our cans, we're enjoying a nice dessert with the kids, a vanilla ice cream with homemade cinnamon applesauce drizzled over the top. From our farm to yours, enjoy. All right, the time is up. I've moved the jars up out of the water, and now I'm just going to go ahead and start grabbing them and bringing them over to my towel to cool and seal. Alright, so I'm just going to set all these here. I'm going to let them just sit for a little while, and we're going to wait and we're going to listen for their pop. So I'm not sure if you can tell in the video, but when I push on this, this has no give at all. Yet when I push on this one, I have a little give. So this one is not sealed yet. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for these to seal. This one's sealed, this one's sealed, this one's sealed, and this one's sealed. Now these are hot to the touch, so you would probably not want to do that. So we're still waiting on this guy back here to seal. And if it doesn't seal, it's not a problem. We'll go ahead and use it tomorrow morning for breakfast with biscuits or pancakes or something. So it's not a problem, but we're going to wait a little while and give it some time. It may just seal out of the water now. Alright, so now we got our finished product. I went ahead and I've started putting on my labels, make sure I have my month, my day, and my year. That way, as I'm going through these, if one gets shuffled to the back of my pantry and I find it, and maybe the label's worn off a little bit or I can't see completely, at least I know when it was from. I'm pretty good about using through these. These won't last very long with my family. This is 1 week of sides for meals. This could go with breakfast. This could go, you know, I could rotate breakfast and dinner. Anyways, this was just to show you guys the process of processing a half bushel of apples and how easy that process really is to bring it from the farm into your home and onto your plate. So thank you for joining us. If you like it, subscribe. Thanks for joining us at Shepherd Valley Farms. From our farm to yours, we'll see you next time.